Time to switch gears now to talk about other pressing issues. Following the recent collapse of a seven-story building in Banana Island, Lagos, some experts have urged the government to take more drastic measures to put an end to the menace claiming the lives of innocent citizens. They made this known in a special report put together by iBrandTV business correspondent Blessed Omonose. Let's take a listen, but we'll be back to delve into the conversation.
The city is also known as a construction site, given the number of building projects progressively taking place at various sites across the mega city. However, the rate at which some of the structures under construction have been falling has become a great source of concern, as building collapse is now a recurring phenomenon in the state, year in, year out, resulting in loss of lives and billions of naira in investments. The most recent collapse on Wednesday is a seven-story building in Banana Island, Lagos, bringing to the fore, again, the recurring but disturbing issue of building and structural collapse in the country. While the State Emergency Management Agency and the Building Control Agency refused to speak with iBrandTV as at the time of filing this report, these financial and insurance experts highlighted the cause implications of building collapses in a cosmopolitan city like Lagos.
The economic implication of building collapse in Lagos State is something that has become very controversial, and it is a gross loss to the economy as a whole, because I'm sure you know that if anything impact on Lagos economy, it impacts on overall Nigeria economy. And to put a number at this, you will be managing things by saying is within billions of naira. It has actually entered billions of dollars, because the impact can be viewed from loss of lives, loss of what? Property, loss of money invested, reputational impact, and even potential future investment is being threatened by this. The Lagos State government and Nigerian government as a whole keep seeking for more foreign direct investment in this sector, which is one of the major sectors to turn around the economy of Nigeria. Real estate has been the one that has been stable for a while, but with this continuous collapse, this has made more investors to become more fearful, or more they are now becoming uncertain about the amount or level of exposure that they are going to have if they bring their money into the economy. And I'll tell you, the last one that happened really sent a very, very, very big signal to almost everybody.
Speaking on the causes of building collapse, I met with engineer Sunday Adigun, who took me through the process of building construction and the challenges faced by professionals in the field.
The word building, the word building is something that everywhere you get to, you will see one or two structures, and there are processes that you have to follow. You understand? And we have professional bodies, we have professional ethics, we have standard, we have code of practices. So we have things that are being laid down that we ought to follow before we even say we want to talk about any building.
According to the latest data from the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, between January and July 2022, Lagos recorded 24 cases of total building collapse, 6 of which are partial collapse and 1 impending collapse, leading to 84 Lagosians being killed in building collapse incidents in the last 2 years.
Collapse is as a result of artisans. I've witnessed some of those things before. There are some collapse that happen in some areas that after doing those studies, they discovered that when the carpenter was preparing the formwork, the carpenter forgot to put prop underneath the building. And when they were casting, what happened? That part of the slab came down. So that was the collapse that happened there. So at times, some clients want to enforce artisans on engineers that this person, you must use this person, you must use this person is cheaper. At times it doesn't work that way, because these things is not something that is not a magic. It has to do with someone that is experienced, because you need someone that is experienced, and There is a saying that you can't give what you don't have. If you go and get a bricklayer that is not good, I tell you, no matter how the engineer supervised that bricklayer, I tell you, he cannot do more than what he knows. So that's why at times it's better you involve those professionals in getting those artisans for you.
The incessant collapse of buildings in Lagos State, Nigeria's economic hub, in recent years have been alarming, raising questions on the credibility of the state regulatory agencies, the quality of skilled manpower in the construction and building industry in the country. While some blame the high level of bribery and corruption in government agency as a major cause for the incessant collapse, others are criticizing the state government for lacking the political will to bring defaulting developers to book. But the big question begging for answer now is, for how long will this menace continue to claim the life of innocent Lagos citizens? Only time will tell. Blessed Omonose, reporting for iBrandTV.
Indeed, the impact of the devastating, collapse that have happened in Lagos recently, and indeed the ones that have been happening before now, can really not be measured. But for more insight on this conversation, we have engineer and builder Adilaja Adekombi joining us now virtually. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. I'm sure you watched the report we just saw, and of course the analysis as to what causes all of these collapse, building collapse that we've witnessed in recent times in the country. Well, some statistics here shows that about 552 incidents of building collapse in the last 49 years have happened in Nigeria, and out of this figure, Lagos recorded 326. That's about 59% of all of the building collapses we've seen in the country. How does this come to you?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, please.
Okay. It's a very awesome morning to talk to you, to be on your program this morning. Let me just make a little correction. I'm not an engineer. I'm a builder.
Yeah.
Yes, so I have to make that correction. So
yes, you said you are a who?
I'm a builder. I'm a
builder. All right. Take it.
I'm not an engineer.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. And it's also on a serious note, this issue of building collapse in Lagos is something we are tired of talking about, because it's even a very disgraceful thing to us, because we are looking at it very, it's becoming a normal norm for us. Anytime it happens is when we'll be talking. But all the talking, we'll be talking, no solution, nothing has been on the table for us to prove that we are working. So it's a long way. This one that happened, I'm believing that it's going to change take another level, that the government will be serious about the work of building production. It's not just for everybody. We know the hazard that is there. Many people involved in the process of construction, and even when you finished it and it becomes a house, it's also a danger if it is not properly done. So what we are seeing here is a prompt to many reasons, so many reasons. Reasons from the client, reasons from the government, reasons from the professionals. Many reasons can be, and reasons from poor materials that we are finding in the market. So we can attribute so many reasons towards this menace. If we have to divorce it one by one, and then we'll be looking at the area we have to go and area that we don't have to go. But I have to tell you this, either you like it or not, everything still boils down to government not doing what they are supposed to do. Well, that's what yeah.
Yes, we won't delve into what you think they should be doing that they are not doing, especially in terms of policies and measures, monitoring, and ensuring that buildings follow the regular and the laid down standard procedures. But before we delve into that, you watched the report we just saw by our correspondent, and one of the respondents talked about the fact that clients force artisans on their, their engineers. How does that impact, or what effect does that have on the eventual structure of the building?
Yeah, I professionally, I don't want to take that. No, we see that every day, but professionally, I don't want to take that. No client can force anybody whom I have not worked with, whom I don't know his competency, level of competency, to come and force that person on me. It happens. We see it every day. But it depends on you as a professional. You don't dare take that kind of instruction from anybody, because it's your life that is at stake. Your certificate is at stake. Your whole personality is at stake. So you don't do that. We see it every day. That's the honest thing. Every client wants to bring that idea, but you don't take it from them. So you give the specific areas that concern the structural detailing of the house. That is not a small boy's work. It's not just a friendship work. So if you know what you are doing, I don't want to 100% believe that client to force anybody on you. It is what you know how to do. Then you improve yourself. Then if it remains so, then you leave the work. That's not the only work you have to do. Your life, your certificate, yourself is involved in this process. So let us not take that as we see it, like I said, that's one of the things we see every day. But we don't want to take it as a yardstick, unless you are not a professional. If you are a professional, you can't force anybody on me, because the person was not there when I collected the certificate to operate. So I don't want to take that.
The regulatory bodies, we have the Urban and National Building Department, we have the, the different departments that are supposed to monitor the process of erecting any structure, especially in Lagos State. What are they doing to ensure that all of this incessant collapse do not continue?
Yeah, yes, I guess that's what we have to be talking now. That's the thing. And the regulatory body in Lagos is totally to be blamed for this, because of...
All right, we have a builder talking to us there, Adelaja Adekombi, talking to us about the continuous...
The construction involved in the construction process of Banana Island are not small boys. They are the friend of government.
All right. Talking to us about some of the challenges or the causes.
Being that at least, I'm coming. Somebody is just disturbing my...
All right, while it's trying to get that fixed, of course, we will be looking at all of these issues, especially as they affect lives and properties of Nigerians, because it's not just about the fact that these buildings collapse. Eventually, many times lives are lost. People have to lose their, hard-earned property in this building collapses. And we need to look at ways to tackle this and to ensure that it doesn't continue. Can you hear me now, Mr. Adelaja?
Yes, very well. I can hear you now.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, like I was saying, the way it is now, you have no any other person to blame than is the government. It's the agency that we have to blame. For you to build a house in Lagos, you have to pass through a LASPA, which is the authority, the agency that gives you approval. Without the approval, we are not expected to go to the site. And when they give you that, you have another authority that needs to monitor the construction you are doing. So if all these things are in place, I don't know how it's possible for somebody to enter Banana Island and begin to build. There's a lot of bureaucracy and something to a question to be asked on this matter. And the agency, like I've said this in your station once, is agency allowed to operate freely? These are 1 million questions we will be asking ourselves. Who is responsible for this? What is the work of the agency? And is the power that be not disturbing the agency to operate? These are 1 million questions that is affecting this process. In elsewhere.
We've lost your audio, Mr. Adelaja, if you can hear me. we kind of lost connection with you, but there's some interesting conversations, and we have to begin to look at ways to deal with this headlong so that we don't continue to lose people's lives and properties in all of this incessant building collapse, considering the fact that this isn't the first time it would be happening. We saw the 21-story building, which of course collapsed at Ikoyi also recently, and it looks like there are no measures, proactive measures put in place to curb a recurrence of all of these issues. Because if we had put measures in place, for instance, prosecute those responsible for all of this collapse, perhaps that would serve as deterrent to future offenders. Mr. Adelaja, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm with you.
So I was talking about what measures are put in place to ensure that those culprits, those who are guilty in all of these issues of erecting wrong structures or not following the laid down procedures, or even the agencies themselves that are supposed to monitor and then eventually coming out to exonerate themselves and saying they never granted approval. How come a 7-story building is erected without anybody taking responsibility and saying that they never gave approval for that? Where do we go with all of this? Why are people not getting prosecuted?
Yes, that's 1 million questions that we should be asking ourselves at this moment. It has always been the same story every time collapse happens. No one is responsible. No one is caught. We don't even know who is who all the time. But like I said, I have to put it to you that Banana Island is not a poor man zone where a construction is made by. We see the same big men that are operating, who are the friend of government, that are doing all this you are looking at. And the agency, yes, we sometimes say the agency does not have that capability to go around Lagos and the work become enormous for them to do. But the question I'm asking is the politician, the people, the executive, are they allowing the agency to operate? That's one question. And one of the things we have also discovered in the agency created by the Lagos State government, they have turned it to a money-making venture. You cannot do a control or look for money. If you want to do a control, you do control. But if you want to look for money, you look for money. Control and money cannot go together. So when it comes for the agency to operate, you don't give agency a target that, okay, it's all about money. So when they begin to look for money, they will forget the assignment they're supposed to do.
All right, we have to wrap it up now. It's been a very rich conversation looking at all of the issues surrounding building collapses in Nigeria, and especially focusing on Lagos with the 7-story building which recently collapsed. Well, a very big thank you to Adelaja Adekombi, who is a builder and has helped us better understand what we're dealing with here. We hope that the government of the day and relevant stakeholders would look into the areas of creating solutions and preventing a recurrence of all of these collapses.